Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing shade that I least like or hate most or whatever in the palette. I did this video, the opposite, like my favorite shade in the palette with Tracy Beauty as a collaboration. We're doing a collaboration again. So first of all, side note, this look, I'm not too sure if it's up already, but if it is up, I'll link it down below. I'm not 100% sure, but it will be up soon if it's not already up, so just watch this space. But I'll just get that out there. And I've also done it for my Musical.ly, which is now called TikTok for some reason. So I'll link that down below as well, so just check it out. So I decided that I wasn't going to choose all of the same palettes that I chose before, but there might be a couple of palettes here and there which I did choose before, but predominantly they're different palettes from the last video. Also, I made sure that I was just choosing a variation of palettes and I wasn't necessarily targeting ones that I dislike or like. I was just choosing just randomly, like, okay, I haven't used that one, I haven't used that one in the last video. I just decided, let me just pick up whatever palette, get 15 of them and just treat it as random as possible. So let's get into it. Okay, so first is my Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells palette. I wasn't particularly very keen on this one when I first got it, and I feel like this shade here just is not my favorite at all. I just can't stand this shade because it's a shimmery dark brown, and I just kind of feel like it would have made sense for these two to be matte and for those two to be shimmery. So you got 3 shimmers and 1 matte, and it's like, what were you guys thinking? Anyway, so we're gonna start up here. It's barely even showing up on my hand. I mean, Jesus. Next I have my Smashbox Pinks and Palms. Again, another palette that I was not that keen on. What shadow don't I like? I mean, the thing is, they are really pretty. It's just the fact that they just don't show up. I mean, I think it's probably fair to say this one, because I would barely have use for like this baby chalky pink. Some people might have use for it, but I just don't. And look, it barely shows up on me at all. But this palette just wasn't that good, period, to be fair. Next is my Urban Decay Moondust palette. And this was not a bad palette at all. This was like a limited edition palette. And like, look at it. It's so pretty, iridescent, and oh, it's lovely. I guess the only shade that I wouldn't really see myself using that much is Granite. And the thing is, I'm not even saying, oh, it's a bad shade or anything to that effect. It's just the fact that I'm just least drawn to that one out of all of the shades in that palette. Next is my BH Missy Lynn palette. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna exclude the 2 highlighters. I'm gonna just stick to the eyeshadows. The thing is, this isn't a bad palette either. Although what I will say is that, look at these. I don't know if you can see it, but can you see like these little bumps? It just doesn't look like it's been milled very finely. Like there's clumps. I can't stand that in a palette, or in eyeshadow I should say. Okay, so I'm going to say this shade because I've just never used it, and that's what that looks like. Next is my Visia Tryst palette. Beautiful, beautiful palette. I mean, look at the packaging. But it's not all about packaging, unfortunately. And my least favorite is this shade here. It's called Illicit. The shadow color itself is gorgeous, but I don't like mattes with sparkles in it. I don't like that. I don't see the point. Like, why do you need to have a matte with sparkle in it? And then by the time you put it on your eye, or even if the sparkle does transfer onto the eye, after a while it's like the sparkle is gone. Like, it just doesn't stick. When it comes to mattes and sparkle, it's like, why do you bother to do that? I just don't understand. Okay, so it's showing a little bit of the sparkle, but it's just kind of like, but why do you need to have it in the first place? It's just not necessary. Ugh. Next is my Juvias Afrique palette. This is new, and for those of you who watched my review on it, you guys know that my least favorite shade is Aya, this yellow. I've used it a couple of times since, but it's just patchy. It doesn't show up. It's like, but why are you not showing up? I would love for you to show up. Like, look, can you even see it? Can you see it? Can you? I don't know. Like, it's just pretty much non-existent. I used it when I did an orange look, and I just wanted to blend out the orange, so it was just like a faint yellow. I don't know, man. And I'm kind of disappointed because it's Juvias Paste. And you guys know how I feel about Juvias Paste. But I guess, you know, it just goes to show that it doesn't matter how much I love a brand and how much I love their products. If something's whack, I'm gonna say it's whack. Like, that's just what it is. Next, we have the Faced Stardust palette by Vegas Nay. I absolutely adore this palette. I mean, the way that it looks, like, it's just so girly, beautiful. Oh, gorgeous. So again, we have the same situation where we have this shade here, double tap, and it's like a brown with glitter in it. Why are we doing matte browns with glitter? I don't understand. And it's like, even when I pick it up on my finger, there's no glitter that comes off, but it's got glitter on it. It's so strange. Oh my god, it's not even showing up on my hand. Oh my gosh, it's not even showing up. It's like, I invited you to the party, like, can you attend? It said no, babe. Then I have my Take Me to Brazil palette by BH. This is gonna be a hard one. No, it's not actually, because I spotted the one that I don't like. Okay, so this is the palette itself. The shade that I don't like is this neon orange. I don't feel like it does the job. I look at it and I think, wow, it's so pigmented. Well, that's how it should be. Look at it. Can you even see it? And do you see the little bit of dust? I've been trying to rub that in. It won't rub in. It won't rub in. Oh, that's not neon orange. I'm sorry, it's just not. Okay, so next is my project pan. It's the Sleek Oh So Special palette. I haven't done an update on this in a hot minute because I'm just focusing on just getting rid of it. But this shadow here, does it want to be brown? Does it want to be pink? Does it want to be shimmer? Does it want to be satin? Like, what are you? It's just the weirdest brownie pink satin shimmer. It's just weird. It's just so strange. Look, it's just weird. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I don't know what's going on. And I feel like that shadow is going to really push me back with my project pan, because it's like, I don't know, I don't want to use it. I just don't want to use it. Anyway, so next I have the Pink Fizz by I Heart Makeup. Here is what it looks like. Okay, and the shade that I don't like is this shade right in the corner called Rosy. It's like a very, very faint pink shimmer. Oh god, hold on. It's just this sugary pink kind of color. But look at how it swatches on my finger. It just breaks up and breaks down, and it's like, what's wrong with you? In the pan, it looks absolutely divine because it's like this duochrome white, pink, sugary kind of color, but look at it, it's just chunky and patchy, and I don't know, like, it's just not nice. It's just not nice at all. Sorry, it's just not. Whoever formulated that and said, oh yeah, that's okay, let's roll with that, like, I've got to go, you were wrong. Next is my Mint Chocolate palette by I Heart Makeup again. The shade that I don't like is called Poison Ivy. It's just here. Oh my gosh, it's just the patchiest dark green when this is supposed to be like rich. It's supposed to have color, and it just, like, what? Like, what's going on? Where are you? It just decided, nah. I don't know. Next I have the BH Cosmetics Bronze Paradise. I'm sorry if this is kind of like blinding you. The shade that I just don't really like is this. It's like this satin white cream. I would never have any use for it. So it's not to say, oh, it's a bad shade or it performs poorly or anything like that. I just wouldn't use it. I would have nothing to use it for. I mean, I guess you could say, oh, you can use it in your inner corner. I barely use those kinds of shades in my inner corner. Next is the Balm Nude palette. I barely picked this one up. So this one here is like a satiny kind of pink. I'm not a fan of satin. I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't like satin. The thing is, this swatch is quite good considering everything else, but I just don't have any use for this, so you wouldn't find me using it. Next we have the Galaxy Chic by BH. These are all quite funky because they are like baked with, like this one has white and blue, and this one has white and green, and this one has like gold and red. Like why are we doing these funky colors? So it is that gold and red one. Like that is strange. I don't know if you can see it, but when I swatch it, it's just like what is this? What is this? I'm just not keen on it. Like I understand they're probably trying to do like a pinky gold kind of duochrome kind of thing. Like when I look at it, I get where they were trying to go with it, but it's just, I don't know, it just looks strange to me in the pan, so I've always just steered very clear of it. And lastly we have the Juvias Nubian II. Okay, and I guess the one that I don't really like, I don't even know if it's fair to say that I don't like it. It's just that I've never really gone out of my way to use it, and it's Ya. It is a beautiful shimmery brown, like a coppery brown, but because I've just never really used it, because I've got this same shade in so many other palettes, I've just not bothered to draw for it, and I've used other palettes as Ya instead, or well, the equivalent in other palettes. So these are all of the shades. This is just like a hot mess. This could never be a palette. This is just a mess, to be fair. Like what the hell, really? So those are my 15 least loved, or shade that I like the least in the palette. Oh, I wanted to say, after we did the shade I like most, Tracy came to me and said, listen, we need to do shade we like least. But before we got around to do it, somebody else had already thought of the idea and went and did it. But as far as I'm concerned, Tracy was the one who decided that, you know, she was the one who came up with the idea for this video. I will leave the link down below for the person who got there before us, but it's all good. So go over to Tracy's channel. It's all linked down below, just like before. Go and show her some love. I'm heading over there myself right now, so let's just go over together. Don't forget to subscribe to her, and subscribe to me too if this is your first time that you're seeing me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.